Hey guys, Enzo Flojo here, and this is the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast, the only show that brings you the latest scoop on everything basketball here in the Philippines. Whether you're a diehard fan, a casual observer, or just looking for some good old-fashioned hoop talk, you've come to the right place. So whether you're a fan of the PBA, the UAAP, the NCAA, Gilas, or any other league in the Philippines, we've got you covered. And if you're just discovering the exciting world of Philippine basketball, we're here to guide you through every dunk, crossover, three-pointer, and controversial college transfer. So get ready to be entertained, informed, and inspired as we delve into the world of Philippine basketball. This is the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast. Let's talk some hoops. Hey guys, Enzo Flo here again, and this is the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast. We are in our 22nd episode already, so it's 22 episodes in 22 days. Pretty tiring, but pretty fulfilling as well to talk about Philippine basketball, the different aspects of it, and to engage with so many of you fans and viewers out there, and listeners as well, for those who are tuning in via our podcast on Spotify, so don't forget that. In this episode, we'll talk about the opponents who will likely give our three-peat-seeking Gilas women a hard time in the 2023 Southeast Asian Games in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. Yes, we're still talking about Gilas. Like last episode, we'll talk about Gilas women this time around because they deserve spotlight. And as always, we're going to look at the opponents as deeply as we can. It's not going to be very comprehensive, but as much as we can. And we'll see what our chances are going to be. But first, let's look at, again, very quickly, our 12-man roster for Gilas women in the Southeast Asian Games. Again, we have 12 amazing ladies currently named to represent a roster. This can still change as of this recording. This is not final, because if anything happens, knock on wood, in the next couple of days, changes can still be made in the technical meeting, I think on May 7th. Okay, so things can still get tweaked here and there, but by and large, I think these 12 are going to be it. We have Jack Anima making a great return to the national team after an ACL tear kept her out of the SEA Games last year. We have Afro Bernardino, Janine Pontejos, Claire Castro, Kate Castillo, Camille Clarin, Trina Goitinco, Ella Fajardo, France May Kabinbin, Stephanie Berberabe, Andrea Tonko, and Angel Serrada. We talked the previous episode about this final 12. Is this good enough to win? I think it is. Great mix of bigs with Jack and Claire Castro there. Afro plays big a lot as well. Camille Clarin can play big also. You have your playmakers, okay? Ella Fajardo, of course, is a great playmaker out there as well. And you have your shooters, obviously Janine Pontejos, one of our main shooters out there. As Camille Clarin can hit the three as well. So very balanced roster, good mix of veterans and young guns as well. And I think we're going to be in very good shape in the SEA Games. But of course, on the other side of that are our opponents. So before we talk about our opponents, each one of them, let's look at very quickly our record in the SEA Games, okay? So we looked at this also in our last episode, but let's simply go through it again, okay? So in 20 editions of the Southeast Asian Games, Gilas Women has won the gold only twice. And that's happened in 2019 when we hosted the Southeast Asian Games here in Manila, and in 2022 last year when it was hosted in Hanoi in Vietnam. So we are seeking an unprecedented three-peat in the Southeast Asian Games. Okay, and of course, hopefully we actually get it. Hopefully we bag the three-peat, we defend a title, and bring home the gold here back to the country. Okay, now last year we played 5 games. It was a simple round-robin format, and we won 4 of the 5 games. By day 4, after we beat, I'm not sure if it was Vietnam that we beat on day 4, but after our win on day 4, we were already assured, okay, of the gold medal. And in our last game against Malaysia, we actually lost that game, But even if we had lost that game, we already bagged the goal. Okay, hopefully this time around in Cambodia, we can win all our games. It's a bit of a different format. I think we have two groups as well. In the men's side, we have two groups. I think we have two as well for the Gilas women's side. And then, of course, our opponents are going to be tough. Okay, and we'll look at the opponents right now. Okay, we're going to start with the team that beat us last year, and that's Malaysia. Okay, Malaysia beat us in our last game. Okay, in Vietnam. Okay, and it was a game that obviously we should have won, but I don't know, maybe because we were tired already, or because of other things, we just could not win that game against Malaysia. Right, so we lost that game 96-93. Janine Pontejos had 18 points to lead us in that game. But these are the two guys that or two players from Malaysia we are going to have to really contend against. Okay, we have Yap Fook Yi and Chong Yin Yin. They combined for 50 points against Gilas last year. There's one other girl from Malaysia. I think her last name is Pang, and she scored 23 points also. So that's a big three from Malaysia that we really have to contend with. Okay, next is Indonesia. Okay, Indonesia is going to be tough, and the player from Indonesia that I think might be the biggest threat is I think she's a nationalized player. I don't think she has Indonesian heritage, but she already played last year for them. She plays for the 3x3 team. She'll play again for the 3x3 and their 5-on-5 team in Cambodia. It's Kim Pierre Louise. Okay, and last year against the Philippines, she didn't really score a ton. I think she only had 11 points and 7 rebounds against Gilas WOmen last year. Okay, but she'll be the main foil for Gilas this year. No, she's gonna be the one tasked to guard Jack Animam, I think. And if we're not careful, then Kim Pierre Louise can really hurt Gilas WOmen over there in the SEA Games in Cambodia. She's about 6 feet, 6'1", so she's a good match for Jack Animam. All right, she's a good match for Jack Animam. Next up is Thailand. Thailand, of course, is one of the traditional big threats to the Philippines in the Southeast Asian Games. And they'll probably be led by these two ladies, Maihom Tidaporn and Lumdapang Chunchanok. Okay, together they combined for 27 points and 10 rebounds versus Gilas in 2022. We actually won over Thailand, if I remember correctly, by 16 points last year. Afro Bernardino had a big game, 20 points, 16 rebounds for Gilas WOmen. When we beat Thailand last year, 97-81. Thanks to Afro Bernardino, 20 points, 16 rebounds from her. But these two girls, Lumdapang Chunchanok, okay, and Maihom Tidaporn are two girls that we should kinda be wary about. Okay, again, they combined for 27 points, 10 rebounds against the Philippines last year. So they are, threats to the Filipinos or the Filipinas who are seeking that three-peat in the SEA Games. Okay, now Thailand is not very, very tall. I think both these ladies are around 5'9". So I think we have the size advantage. But again, in terms of experience and toughness, they're a good matchup for Gilas WOmen. Okay. Now, lastly, they did not medal last year. In fact, Vietnam has not won a single gold medal, but I think they are going to be very dangerous this year. One, because they're going to be very, very hungry after losing last year. Two, their twins, Kaylee and Kaylin Tuong, are both healthy and playing this year. Last year, they were both on the lineup, but I think only Kaylin was the one who played majority of the games, and she was the only Truong player to actually play against the Philippines last year. No? So si Kaylee Truong was injured before that Philippine game, and we won by 31 points. It was
I'm not sure if it was a comfortable win, but we won by 31, so it was a blowout, technically speaking. But we had a lot of problems trying to contain Kaylin Churongo. Kaylin actually scored 30 points against Gilas Women last year. So if both these girls are healthy, they are good enough to carry this Vietnamese team to maybe a medal in the SEA Games. And on a very good night, they can carry this team to a win, even against Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia. And if they catch the Philippines on a bad night, okay, these two ladies can carry their team even against Gilas, I think. So Vietnam is going to be a threat, Indonesia a threat, Thailand a threat, definitely Malaysia a threat as well. So those are the four main rivals that Gilas will really need to take into account. And I'm sure Coach Pat is preparing, scouting them really, really well. But I think we're deeper, we're more complete compared to last year. So I think we should be in a good spot to get that gold, get the three-peat again. Again, the competition is going to be tougher. Targets on our backs bigger. All these opponents are gunning for Gilas Women this time around. Malaysia and Thailand want to reassert their dominance in Southeast Asia. Indonesia wants to win its first gold in the SEA Games. Same with Vietnam, which is going to be more complete and more dangerous this time around. But nevertheless, no matter what happens, suporta pa rin sa ating Gilas Women. And I really, really hope they bring home the three-peat back to the country. If you like this topic, then you should like our future topics and discussions as well. As always, we'll spotlight some fan comments because we value what you guys think. Our next episode drops tomorrow. Watch out for that. Mabuhay ang Philippine basketball. Mabuhay tayong lahat.
Again, thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Mabuhay Basketball Podcast. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed creating it. So don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Also, feel free to leave a comment because we love that engagement. And who knows, maybe your comment might be featured next. You can also read my stuff on clutchpoints.com, Tiebreaker Times, and of course, FIBA.basketball. Follow me on Twitter at HoopNut or Instagram at TheHoopNut for more content and updates. Until next time, keep betting on yourself, shooting your shot, and seizing the moment. Mabuhay ang Philippine basketball.